This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
A cheering crowd welcomes Bob Knight into Assembly Hall. It's a history-making day at Indiana University for the first time after he was fired nearly 20 years ago. Legendary coach Bob Knight makes a triumphant return to Assembly Hall. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. It was the day IU basketball fans waited nearly 20 years for. Legendary coach Bob Knight returned to Assembly Hall. Alongside more than a quarter century of former players, it was a moment to remember. Sports director Dave First has our coverage from Bloomington.
The line of students wrapped around Assembly Hall. Once inside, a buzz this place hasn't seen in a long, long time. Word that Bob Knight was here. His longtime rival just finding out. What do you make of this, Gene?
Oh, that's special. I hope he's here today, but
He's here. Yeah,
oh, is he? Good.
In other words, it's Katie and Knight in the same building for another IU-Purdue game. For this crowd, what does it mean to have Coach back, you think?
Well, it's special for him. He deserves it. And they were always hard on us, but we were hard on him when he came to Mackey, so it was even.
It's appropriate that he comes back for a Purdue game, I think, huh?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. So it's neat.
At halftime, the 20-year wait is over, preceded by members of the Big Ten champion 1980 team and others from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and escorted by his son Pat, Quinn Buckner, Steve Green, and Scott May. 20 years in the making. His only words: play defense. IU was down 9 at the half. Among those who finally got him to come, Randy Whitman.
Randy was very instrumental in that, actually led the charge. All of us tried to pitch in and to do it, and to get him here to see what it's like and see the reaction from the people who love and appreciate not only Indiana basketball, but Coach Bob Knight. We thought that was really important, given just life. Just get him here and let him enjoy it. And we really think he did. You see him get fired up? I mean, that's what caught me off guard.
Randy, how much did you guys need this? How much do you think Bob needed
I think the state of Indiana needed it, to be honest with you. I mean, he is Indiana basketball. And so I think this is, as Quinn just said, I don't know if there's going to be a bigger day. You know, hopefully we'll win a couple more national championships to put up there. But to have our coach come back to Indiana and let these fans of the state of Indiana show their appreciation, as well as he showed them his appreciation for them.
For the rest of the former players, quite simply, not a dry eye in this house. So what do you say after something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I stand out there crying, watching other guys, watching Isaiah cry. You're like, I mean, I'm as big a fan as anyone is, so it's just cool.
The game continues, the Hoosiers defense allowing Purdue to shoot 50% from behind the arc as the Boilers win their 6th in a row in this series, 74-62. And still would turn out to be a big day for everyone in Bloomington.
The inclusion of Coach Knight, meant a lot to those guys, and for us to be able to host them and have Coach Knight officially come through the doors was a big thing.
Anytime you have great coaches, they make you better as a coach. And so we learned a lot, obviously, as fans, and I learned a lot as a player and a coach, from Coach Katie, being around him, and Coach Knight, being at clinics and things like that. So, we're lucky. I think we're lucky in the state of Indiana to have those two guys.
So call it a day for Knight. Hard to believe. It's been 20 years since his firing. This, though, perhaps bringing a little closure. Regardless, it brought Assembly Hall to its feet once again. In Bloomington, Dave First, RTV6 Sports.
Wow, Dave, thank you so much. Great story. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. We woke up to some snow this morning and a few flurries are still lingering around at this hour. Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounds is here to fill us in on what we can expect for the rest of the evening. Kyle.
Yeah, Nicole, I think we're largely done with accumulation for the day, but a quick check of some of those snow stats. Now, the entire month of January, only 0.3 of an inch of snow fell. That's how much we had on the ground in Indy this morning. So that takes our February total so far, and it is a running total, to about 0.5 inch. And there you can see how much we average for the month of February. As we look at Storm Team 6 right now, you can see a couple of these pockets, again, of flurries and a few snow showers. They are going to continue to wind down, though, here as we now get to sunset and beyond, and actually may see a few breaks in those clouds as we go a little later tonight. Right now, it's 31 in Indy. Kokomo still reporting some of that light snow shower and flurry activity. Cloudy and 32 in Bloomington. A little bit of a breeze, though, that is adding to that chill in the air. So temperature is going to be right around 30 degrees as we get to 10 o'clock. They'll hold pretty steady as we've got that southwest wind around 10 miles per hour, but that also sends wind chills into the 20s. So make sure that you layer up if you're heading out this evening. Closer look at your Sunday forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Well, tonight, family and friends are continuing to grieve the loss of 4 young people murdered Wednesday on the northeast side. Meanwhile, people from all corners of the city are coming together to share their thoughts on what it's going to take to make our city safer. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you, talking to a group tonight who is starting a conversation with young people about ways to stop the violence.
Teenagers weren't shy about sharing the horrors they see play out right in front of them each day.
But a lot of our teens, they have to grow up at a young age.
Arnetta Scruggs runs the Bloom Project, one of the organizations bringing youth together for true dialogue.
Our teens have a lot of anger inside, and they don't know how to process it.
And I was just thinking, like, what if I was there? For me, it was close.
Michael Owen says his grandmother lives right across the street from the Shady Oak Drive apartment complex where a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, and 2 21-year-olds lost their lives.
A situation like that, the only lesson that they learned was death. So it's sad to say it, but it's true.
During the forum, teenagers talked about the pressures they face each day, the mental impact of experiencing trauma with no place to turn, in a nutshell, feeling trapped. Many of the young people explain violence happens because there's just no escape. The teenagers saying adults simply can't relate to what they go through in the classroom and in their neighborhoods on a daily basis. But Owen says there is a way to help heal the hurt.
Pull kids out the streets, really get under their skin, talk to them. If we take them in, if they feel like they ain't got nobody, show them a different way.
He says it starts by sparking a shift in mindset.
Take them places, let them see different stuff. You know, the streets is not it.
Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. There is a united effort taking place in the city to try to slow down the violence. In fact, at least 50 churches across the city tell us they will be having a serious conversation with their congregations during Sunday sermons about the violence happening in our city and how to stop it. Meanwhile, an off-duty Plainfield police officer is on the wrong side of the law tonight, accused of operating a vehicle while intoxicated. State police arrested Officer Patrick Tucker last night for alleged drunk driving after he responded to an emergency response team call. He was off duty. Tucker was arrested after he was given a certified breath test. He was booked into the Hendricks County Jail and released a short time later. He is on unpaid administrative leave pending a recommendation for termination to the Plainfield Police Commissioner Board. Tucker has been with the Plainfield Police Department since 2017. Now to the growing spread of the coronavirus, and the first U.S. citizen has died from the illness. The death occurred in the Chinese city of Wuhan, the epicenter of the outbreak. The U.S. Embassy in Beijing says the patient was 60 years old and died at the hospital. Since breaking out in Wuhan in December, the coronavirus has killed more than 700 people worldwide, mostly in China. At least 12 illnesses are confirmed in the U.S. Now to Democracy 2020 and the race for president. Former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg says he's raised $4 million since the Iowa caucuses. But now today, he and the other candidates are scrambling to campaign in the final weekend before Tuesday's big New Hampshire primary. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi is in Manchester, New Hampshire with more.
2020 Democratic presidential candidates hitting the ground Saturday, fanning out across a snowy New Hampshire ahead of the state's primary election. Some beginning their day at a presidential forum hosted by MSNBC.
We're all in this together. Pandora's box is open. It is time for us to fight back.
Just 3 days before voters cast their ballots, a new CNN University of New Hampshire poll shows Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders in the lead.
With your help, we're going to win here in New Hampshire.
Former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg also gaining momentum at former Vice President Joe Biden's expense, as Biden already braces for another gut punch.
I took a hit in Iowa, and I'll probably take it here.
And today, the Biden campaign taking direct aim at Buttigieg, releasing a new online video ridiculing Buttigieg's experience as a local government official. Senator Amy Klobuchar taking a similar jab at last night's debate.
We have a newcomer in the White House, and look where it got us. I think having some experience is a good thing.
As 7 candidates stood on the stage, a common target wasn't even there. Several insisting that former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg is using his wealth to buy the Democratic nomination.
I think the way we build a democracy going forward is not billionaires reaching in their own pockets or people sucking up to billionaires.
From lawn signs to billboards to round-the-clock political ads, the candidates pulling all the stops ahead of the country's first primary. Tomorrow will be no different as they hold a number of events. And President Trump making his way into town to hold a rally at the arena behind me on the eve of the New Hampshire primary. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire. Coming up on the news at 6, we'll show you why there was a push to get a specific group of students to choose a STEM degree and the help available here locally. Plus, a Purdue University professor meets the Pope, the reason behind this special visit. Kyle.
And we get a little bit of everything tomorrow. I'll let you know how much snow and rain to expect in your Sunday forecast.
Other Cruncher chicken sandwiches. Get rallies delivered.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Tonight, local students who are interested in a STEM career now have a better idea of what it's going to take to be successful. The Center for Leadership Development hosted a STEM workshop today for African American students at St. Joseph's College of Marian University. The Pew Research Center says African Americans represent only 9% of the STEM workforce. Today's free event connected students and their parents with information about educational and career opportunities in science, technology, engineering, and math. We talked to one student who attended who says she wants to be a cardiac surgeon.
My dad, he's a nurse practitioner. He tells me a lot about his job, and I just think that it would be very interesting. I always liked puzzles, and I see the human body as one big puzzle.
We talk about the challenges of young people, but we want the community to know that there's a resource there called the Center for Leadership Development that's saying, however far you are from your career goal, you can make it happen. We're here to help you make it happen.
Leaders with the Center for Leadership Development say today they hope to not only teach students about the potential career paths, but also show them what is required to be successful. The Air Force Research Laboratory has awarded Purdue University a $5.9 million contract to develop the world's first Mach 8 quiet wind tunnel. The new device will be capable of operating at 8 times the speed of sound. Purdue will collaborate with the University of Notre Dame to develop the new wind tunnel, which will allow Purdue and various contractors and private companies to conduct tests in an environment similar to a flight. More Purdue news. A Purdue University engineering professor was part of a small delegation that had a private audience with Pope Francis yesterday at the Vatican to discuss climate change. Professor John Sheffield shared these official Vatican photos today with RTV6. Professor Sheffield is with Purdue's Polytechnic Institute. He was specifically discussing hydrogen as a sustainable energy in the face of climate change. As part of the visit, the Pope gave him a medal commemorating his 7th year as Pope. Professor Sheffield gave the Pope the book Ever True, 150 Years of Giant Leaps at Purdue University. Well, a very cool moment there. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. We enjoyed some sunshine yesterday, but today back to the clouds.
Sucked into the cloud cover. Yeah, now that February is here, it seems like we're getting into more of a winter kind of weather pattern. No big snows, but we had, of course, some of that fell last night into this morning, and It was gone by this afternoon, but they're long enough for Skeeter to enjoy some time there in the snow playing around on the west side earlier today. That is Judy, our producer's dog there.
I love it. Having fun.
Enjoying running around in the snow. One of my dogs, they had all those little snowballs that developed on them, and you had to pull out the hairdryer today to kind of thaw them out a little bit. All right, well, we've still got a few of those snow showers and flurries that are out there. Our temperature 31 degrees, but with that breeze that's been there as well, it feels like we're in the lower 20s right now. Here's a look at Storm Team 6 radar. Again, it's flurries and a couple of snow showers that are out there right now, limiting visibility, and you may see some of that stick on the grassy surfaces and on the cars once again, but I don't think the roads are going to have a problem with this as it'll all kind of wind down. There you can see those wind chills that are in the 20s. 26 is what it feels like in Lafayette with a temperature of 32. Also the same for you in the Columbus area right now. Tonight, temperatures will fall back into the middle 20s. Again, we'll have mostly cloudy skies. Don't think we'll have snow activity during the overnight into tomorrow morning, but we are going to start off with those cloudy skies again on Sunday and kind of flip the weather here a little bit, because today we started off with precipitation. Tomorrow it's a dry start, but as we get toward the middle of the day, we start to see a little wintry mix coming our way. It's going to be breezy too, and then those temperatures will actually continue to warm here as we go into the evening. So that means we'll go from snow initially over to some chilly rain showers by tomorrow evening. Here's a look at TrueCast, middle of the day at 12:30. You see a few of those snow showers around Crawfordsville and Lafayette, even around Indianapolis by 1:30 in the afternoon. But pretty quickly, I think we'll see that transition over to plain old rain. Shouldn't really have to concern ourselves with freezing rain and icy conditions all that much. And that rain will continue for much of the overnight, especially central and southern areas here as we go into our Monday morning before we start to quiet things down once again. So we could see another light coating of snow, especially along and north of Interstate 70. That's where we could see up to an inch of snow, but I don't think it's going to be on the ground very long because we're going to add on another third to possibly an inch of rainfall going into overnight tomorrow night and early on Monday morning. 7-day planning forecast. We got another weather system that's going to come our way here Monday as we see that rain moving out. Then Wednesday and Thursday, some rain and snow showers. Temperatures going to take a dive behind that system. Lows are in the teens to start off Valentine's Day.
I'm seeing a few sun icons on that 7-day.
A little bit of sun, not a whole lot in there though.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Well, we are just over 24 hours away from the Oscars. Coming up on RTV6 News at 6, we'll take you behind the scenes and talk to the nominees to see how they are feeling tonight.
Stream it live on CourtTV.com.
The sun is shining in Los Angeles on the Oscar red carpet. And this is a live picture here outside the Dolby Theater, which will be much busier 24 hours from now. ABC's Adrian Bankert is in Los Angeles with a look at preparations.
Hollywood's most anticipated night is just around the corner. The red carpet is ready at the Dolby Theater with crews working around the clock to prepare for the arrival of the industry's biggest stars. This year, rain is in the forecast for Oscar Sunday. Staff have put a protective covering over the carpet to prevent people from getting drenched. As part of the countdown, final rehearsals are taking place. Though right now, nominees are feeling the stress, says actress Viola Davis, who I met with on the set of her hit ABC show, How to Get Away with Murder.
Right now, I will absolutely tell you that they are nervous and exhausted beyond anything you could possibly imagine.
After winning an Academy Award in 2017 for Best Supporting Actress for Fences, she has this advice.
It is a proud moment. You should feel proud of yourself. But I always say the 3 famous words after an award. And now, what?
Winners and nominees alike will attend the Governor's Ball, the Academy's official post-Oscars celebration. The feast is catered once again by Wolfgang Puck and his team of chefs. Similar to the Golden Globes dinner, meals will be 70% plant-based. Our Kana Whitworth came early for a preview.
Wolfgang, was it harder this year to be creative with a more plant-based menu?
No, we do so many plant-based items in our restaurants all the time.
And among the colorful and delectable desserts, a favorite treat, the signature chocolate Oscar statues covered in 24-karat gold.
From the celebrity arrivals to the final award, RTV6 is your home for Oscar Sunday. Red carpet coverage starts at 1 and continues at 6:30. The Oscars will begin at 8. We'll be right back after this.
Join us from 4:30 to 7.
The Indiana State Fairgrounds is the place to be this weekend if you love dogs. The Indy Winter Classic Albury Dog Show is a 4-day event that ends tomorrow at the West Pavilion. You can watch over 2,000 dogs representing 160 different breeds compete for the Best Show Award each day. Judging starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. A lot of cute dogs there.
Yes, they are. And good day that's walking the dog inside, right? Because we had some snow around today. We'll have some snow tomorrow, middle of the day. Then we warm up enough that we'll have a little bit of rain going into tomorrow night.
Okay, Kyle, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here tonight at 11. Have a great night.